Hello Lomzy team, welcome back to today's sewing tutorial. In today's sewing tutorial, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to make this beautiful Madam blouse or Igbo blouse or whatever you call it with George fabric. This fabric, I had like 2 clients bring this fabric to me and I turned down the offer because I couldn't make it. And let me even also tell you guys, designers, if somebody gives you something you can't make, turn it down if you cannot make it, than making what they gave me versus what I made. Now, I turned down the offer, 2 offers, but this Christmas period, a lot of clients brought this fabric for me to make, and guess what? Challenge accepted. I had to accept the challenge, and I decided to make this. So that's why I'm going to be sharing with you guys today how to make this beautiful Igbo Madam blouse or George fabric with George fabric. You can either wear it this way, you can see how nice it is, you can wear it like this, or you can decide you tie it. You know, you tie this on top of it. It's called a Madam blouse, so you can tie this on top of it. You can either tie it that way, or you can tie it like this, depending on how you want to wear it. You can tie it like this. I am an Igbo woman, so I should be in a better position to teach you how to wear this. Yes, so you know, you can tie it like this on top of this, so you wear it both ways. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do so down below, because we upload detailed and easy to understand sewing tutorials every week. I know you're liking what I'm wearing. I have a video where I have uploaded where I made this dress and where I also made this sleeve. So go ahead, check my channel. You will see where I have uploaded all the videos tutorial to this sleeve. It's called a Ruched sleeve. This is an easy fitting dress. Then I have my pocket. I have a video for that. And what again? So let's dig in, guys, to today's sewing tutorial. This is going to be a long one, so hang in there, relax, you will enjoy it after the whole thing. Let's dig in. Yeah, so a Madam blouse comes in 3 different materials. It has the one that you tie down, just what you saw on the mannequin, and you have this one. This is the one you're going to be working on for the blouse, and this design is what you're going to be placing on your anywhere you want to place it and however you want it. And you know, you don't have to sew on this, so that's why this is a special kind of fabric that you use to make the blouse. You can also add this to the sleeve. You decide whether you want the sleeve to be a short one, or you want it to be a long one, or you want to use the embellishment to make your off-shoulder sleeve. Anything you want to do with it. So this is the one that the first one you're tying. You can decide to tie this and wear your top, and that's it. Or you can also decide to, you know, tie the second one on top of it. For an Igbo woman, she will want to tie her 2 wrappers. This one is the one you're supposed to tie on top of that one, you know. So for this tutorial, we're not going to make a bodice block afresh. We're going to be using an existing body block to make this, so that the video won't be that long. So we're going to be working on a close fitting pattern block to use and make out of it. And this, I'm going to be making an off-shoulder bodice block, you know. So I've already done that. So I'm going to be using this to cut out from my fabric and my lining and all that. So this is the pattern we're using. This is the sleeve, is an off-shoulder sleeve, and this is the front panel, the front part, the 2 of them. This is the front one, and this is the center front, and this is the side. So I have not added sewing allowance, so you go ahead and add sewing allowance to the hem and to the seams and all that. So I'm going to be adding that, and I'm going to be using this to cut out my fabric and my lining. this is the side. So when by the time you sew it like this, it's going to be like this, and you now add your sleeve. So I am going to cut this out from the fabric and the lining. I've already cut it out. So this is it, and I've already added the interfacing to them. You know, so the front panel has 2 panels. So this is it. I've already added interfacing and what do you call it, breast pad. So this is the back. So I have added interfacing to the soft gum stay. I added it to the back, a single one. I made it single. Also to the front, I added paper gum, and then I added this breast pad, cutting this. I had to cut this shape to give it the form of a breast, you know. That's how I cut it like that. You can see the gum I used, the interfacing I used is the thick one. So you go ahead and use it and cut out this shape of the breast cut. I don't know how to call it. Yeah, so Igbo people like their blouses, the bust side to be, you know, strong and all that. That's part of the Igbo Madam Blouse thing. So I also went ahead and cut out the lining. And also I interfaced it with the paper gum stay. I did a single one. I didn't make it double. Actually, I don't like using this breast pad when I'm working, but for this Madam Blouse, Igbo Madam Blouse, I had to use it because they like it. If you don't do it, that's not an Igbo Madam Blouse. So to the lining, I also interfaced it, as you can see. So we're going to be using this to cut out fabric from the blouse material, you know. So this place, you have to align it very well so that you'll be able to make sure your sleeve would be the same by the time you'll be cutting the sleeve. You know, you have to make sure this is aligned together, because I see some people, when after cutting it, they are short of fabric, they start joining the fabric to make the sleeve. No, you don't do it like that. So you have to make sure you align this. Also align the design in front, because you're going to be using this later. So we're going to be working on this side that has no design, but making sure we align and hold this place down so that the 2 hands will be equal. So you hold it there and shift your material to the side that doesn't have any design. That's where you're going to be cutting out from. That's where we're going to be working from. So I have placed the back part here like so and cut out. And I'm also going to be cutting the side. So as you can see, I've cut that out. So you go ahead and find a place comfortable for you to cut out the front panel. Fold it in half into 2, because you know the fabric is folded into 2. So you fold it in that manner, and you cut out this, making sure you avoid cutting too close to your to the design, to the embellishment, because you don't know what you want to use how you want to use the embellishment. So this is it. I make sure my embellishment is there. And also this side, I have my full fabric for my sleeve. Any type of sleeve I want to make, I can easily make that sleeve from this. So we are going to be attaching the material to the satin fabric. You know, this fabric, this satin that I've used to cut the lining for the lace, it doesn't come with the material, so you have to get a matching fabric. So I have seen people when they finish, they start sewing this. No, use your needle and hold in place. If you don't hold it in place, this will be shifting, beneath. So you go ahead and pin it all around, avoiding the seam where you're going to be sew on. Whenever you're working with laces, you pin it like this. It will take your time, but it's worth the while, so that your laces won't be shifting like this or giving you any wrinkle when you're sewing. You need to make sure your sewing has a very clean finish. That's what makes designers who they are. So go ahead and pin them down like so, and if there are any excesses, you just trim off any excess from the lace or whatever. So I'm going to be trimming off the excess that came out from this net. As you can see, there are some excess net there, so I'm going to be trimming that out. So I'm going to be doing this to both the front and the back and all the panels. And then you remove these stones so that you don't hit your needle on them. Just trace around wherever your seam is going to be, and you take out the stones that are around those places so that you won't hit the needle on them and wound yourself. So I'm taking that out now, and I'm going to be doing the same thing to all the panels, both the side and the back. I'm going to be pinning down the mesh fabric. So I'll do that and show you. I have done it. As you can see, I pinned everything down. It doesn't take any time to do this. So I am going to be joining this now. I'm going to be joining the front side facing together. I join all the seams on the front. I'll do that and show you. And also I'll do the same to the back. So I have done this. As you can see how it's turning out. The bustier is coming up nicely. So I am going to notch this place. I've already notched it on the lining like so, and I'll iron it open. So you go ahead and iron it. So the lining, I have cut the lining to be 1 inch shorter than the main fabric. You know why? So that when you're working, the hem line, the lining will not be showing. I will show you what I mean by that later on, but I'm showing you this now. I have cut the lining 1 inch shorter than the main fabric. As you can see how it is. So by the time you sew it, the hem would not show by ½ inch. So I'll go ahead and join the upper side, the neck, the off shoulder on the neck, you know. So I go ahead and sew it like so. I join this place, notch it, and top stitch it. So I'm going to match this and sew it, and also do the same thing to the lower part and top stitch it. So I have done that. As you can see, I have sewn it there like so, and top stitch notched it, and I have also held this in place. I sewed it in a bit, 1 inch top stitch, because of this breast cut, so that it will stand out. If you, no matter how you iron it, it will not stand unless you either use hair thread to hold it down, or you top stitch it like so. So I'm going to close the lower part like so. I will sew So I have done that. I'm going to show you that now. As you can see, I have sewn the lower part, as in the hem. You see how neat it is. Look at that thing I explained to you, that the lining will not show. See how neat it is, because you have made the lining shorter than the main fabric. So see how nicely it is. You do the same thing to the back. I have done it. You see how neat it is. To the two panels, I've done the same thing. So it's always good you work with your pins when you're working. You see, because I have worked with the pins, that's why my fabric is looking this neat. So always use pins when you're working on laces. Now, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do so down below, because I upload detailed sewing tutorials every week. And you give me a thumbs up, so that you'll be able to see any video I make or any LS I make. You don't get to miss anything. So I am going to be joining the back panel and the front one now, right side facing together. I join it like this, depending on the amount of sewing allowance that you have added. You match the front and the back, making sure the hem aligns with each other. You see how it is to have aligned this. You align it and make sure this SS is going to the lining side. This is very, very important. Also make sure the back part, that the SS is going to the lining side, and you notch up this. Make sure you know what the watchword is, clean finishing. So you make sure you do this, so that your inner clothes is also as neat as the front part. I hope you understand what I mean. So you sew out your sewing allowance. It depends on how much sewing allowance you have added, whether 1 inch or ½ inch. So you go ahead and do that. I've already done mine. As you can see how neat it is. You see how that place is, how I matched it, and it's very neat. You see how the inner part is neat. See that lined up so nicely, so that when your clients open their clothes, they are proud of what you have done. So the next thing we are going to be doing is we are going to be adding the design. Depends on whatever you want to do. So this is coming to this place. You can either decide that this side will be up, or you can turn it the other way around. Either you keep the design like this. You see, this is nice too. Or you decide you want to turn it this way. You know, designing is when you break the rules, it comes out very nice. So you can either do it like this. For me, I love this. So this is what I'm going to be working with. Most times I love to break the rules. When you break some rules, you get good results. So that's how I'm going to be placing my design on this Igbo blouse. And I'm going to be trimming this off like so, and attaching it to this blouse. So I am going to be cutting the sleeve now. Remember, we prepared for our sleeve to be the same. So I am going to be cutting out the sleeve from here now. I'll place the pattern. I can either decide even to make this to be an off shoulder, or you can leave it on the lower part. But for me, I'm going to be cutting out a sleeve, an off shoulder sleeve from this. So I will place my sleeve pattern on this. Make sure you find the center and you notch it, and you hold it in place there, and you cut out your sleeve depending on the design of the sleeve you've chosen. So you go ahead and follow me on my social media handles, Lomzy Sews, both on Instagram and on Facebook is Lomzy Sews. And also for my ready to wear, you can check me out on Lomzy One. And my website is www.lomzy.com.ng. So you go ahead and check my website out to order anything you want. So I'm going to be adding something here from the leftover of this fabric. I'm going to be joining them together and cut out and make a design for the neck. So I'm going to be cutting out from here. Cut like 4 inches from here, from all the pieces. I'm going to be cutting out all the pieces to get what I want. Make do with all the pieces. So this one I can't use them again, so I have to throw away these ones because they came in pieces. So our embellishment is still there. We haven't tampered with it. We are going to be working on it later. We're going to trimming off all this out and leaving the embellishment. So I'm going to be sewing this mesh side. I'm going to be joining them to have a long strip. So when I'm joining them, this is how I'm going to be joining them, like so. So I'll go ahead and gather it in the middle so that I can make out my design. So let me do that now. So the sleeve, I have joined it. You can leave this, it will not fray. You don't need to hem it. Just leave it like that. It will not fray. You just, sew it to the blouse. You sew it to the blouse. Nothing will happen to it. It will not fray. So don't bother about that. So I have joined it. As you can see how it is. I'm going to be attaching the design on the neck. Let me show you what I mean. This is the center of the sleeve, and also this is the center of the front. So I'm going to be joining this here. I get the center, and let me show you what I mean. You join it here like so to make that design. You see how our blouse is turning out so nicely. You have to alter any rules and a design would come up. See how nicely this is already turning out. We haven't even added our embellishment, so we are going to be adding the embellishment after adding this. I've added this to the sleeve, to the bodice, as you can see how it is. So let me show you how I'm going to be adding the embellishment to the design. You place this either ways. You can place the other way like this, or you can place it turning it upside down. For me, I like the shape of this because my upper side is already busy, so that's why I'm going to be bringing this design lower like this. So I will make sure I pin this down, align it. I have to align it, make sure it's centered, that the allowance I have on both sides are equal. I place my applique perfectly and I pin it down. After pinning it down, you decide what to do. Either you use your machine to sew it, or you either use a gum to hold this down. For me, I'm going to be using gum to do this, or you can even use your machine anyone you want, or you hand stitch it. But for me, I'm going to use my gum. So for the lower part, you know, this one is the one you're tying on, so you don't need to do anything to it. But that one, the first one that you're going to be tying, you need a rope for it, so it doesn't fall off your waist. Sometimes it falls off, so you need a strip that you will add to this. It doesn't come with it, so you have to work with a fabric that matches. So I have gotten a fabric that matches it, and I have cut out 2 pieces that I'm going to be adding to the both ends. I'm going to be sewing it like so, and you sew it and turn it out. So I'm going to be doing that and adding it to the end of the wrapper. You iron this out. I have already done this. As you can see, I had to close one end. Then the part that is not closed, I'm going to be attaching this to the wrapper. Remember, the wrapper you're adding this to is the first one, so you notch it, you sew it to the wrapper, the first wrapper. So I have sewn it to it. I had to sew it very well because sometimes this can fall off, so I made it 2 times here and there. I had to sew it in 2 places so that it will be strong. So that is how to sew the wrapper. So I'm going to use my gum to gum this, and after gumming it, I can decide also to tack it to make sure I hold it in place very well. So I'm going to be using my gum all the way around. The gum is a fabric gum, so it will stick to the clothes. It will stick very nicely. So you make sure when you're adding your gum, you're adding it to that side that has the gum. You see the side that has the gum. Don't allow your gum to be seen. You just work on where the gum is, where you're seeing the design of the gum. You gum it there, you add your gum there to get you a clean finish. I know this is not coming out, the video is not making it nice. If you see this physical, you would love this. It is very, very clean. The finishing is so clean that you would ask yourself if you're the one that made this. Just follow all these steps and you'll be good. So you make sure you put all your gum to the end of the design so that it's not pulling up. If you will see this, the first place we made, you can see it's not even opening. The gum has already held it in place and is looking neat, and the inner part is also neat. So you go ahead and overlock this place so that you'll be able to add your zipper. I've overlocked this, and I'm going to use this zip for it. Don't use this type of zip that doesn't open out on the end. No, don't use this type. You're going to be using the type that opens out. Okay, in Nigeria we call it open and close zip. So you go ahead and use the open and close zip so that you'll be able to open out your blouse, and it will be easy for you to wear it. So I have made a video where I made how to attach an invisible zip. So you go ahead and watch that video on how to do that. But I'm not going to be using an invisible zip for this tutorial. I'm going to be using this open and close zip to do this. So I will not show you how to attach a zip to this, because if I add that, it's going to be too long. So you go ahead and watch where I have attached an invisible zip, and also how to attach a zip. So that's it, guys. See how lovely this is already looking. So you make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and turn on the notification bell icon so that you'll be able to see all my sewing tutorials. Thank you, guys.